Good afternoon. We are recording live from the Maryland Club, Charles Street Road Kitchen. I believe this is our third or fourth installment of videos. But with that being said, we've already gone over a poached egg, an omelet, and I'm going to show you how to make a hollandaise sauce. So let's turn that down, right? So you want to do that. That's down. So again, the cage-free eggs, we do that. You want to separate the eggs, and then you want to have a container too, right? So you're gonna go here, right? Waste in there. Egg yolk, egg white. Egg whites are perfect to make meringues. If you want to have an egg white omelet, that's fine as well. So for a family of 4, maybe 5, we'll do 6 eggs. So we get that shell out of there. So now we have 2.
Chef, can you freeze egg whites and store it?
Yes, you can. Yep. So save the egg whites omelet meringue. You have your egg yolks. So we will start off with just a little bit of kosher salt. And for this application, you do want to use ground white because you're not trying to change the color of the sauce. Add a little bit of Tabasco. A little bit of white wine. Maybe just a little more. The juice of 1 lemon, which for 6.
And what were you doing right there, Chef?
Oh, I was actually massaging the lemon just to, break up those juices and make it more pliable. And I also like to cut my lemon into thirds, just like that when I juice. So that way you have it good. And then I have this strainer too, because when you work fast in the kitchen, sometimes you may overlook the seeds. And the last thing you want is a perfectly made hollandaise with a lemon seed in it. So we did that right there. So we will get rid of that. Thank you. So again, in here you have salt, white pepper, Chardonnay, Tabasco, and a little bit of lemon juice. And this whole time I have been working, I have had a double boiler or a pot of water going on the stove. And that's how we're going to cook the eggs to make the hollandaise. And I can walk you through that process. So pretty much what I did was I just mixed it up. And I like my hollandaise to be light, fluffy, and we call it nappe, where it coats the back of a spoon, which I will show you. That way it's easily pourable onto your poached egg. Make béarnaise. Béarnaise is a version of hollandaise with tarragon, tarragon vinegar, shallot. Sauce Chiron is hollandaise with tomato. Sauce Maltese is hollandaise with orange in it, with an orange scent. So there's many things that you can do after you learn how to make the hollandaise. And as I stated in earlier videos, it's about technique, learning the technique, and then you can take it from there, be creative, and just create at home with your family. So now, again, I'm gonna add just a smidgen of water. Excuse me, Henry. I like to, just like that. Again, I think adding the water makes the hollandaise lighter. So now, we just put this right on the double boiler, right? And you don't want to have it too high and filled with water, because then it would be overflowing on the side. So right now you are constantly whipping your eggs, and you're using a wire whip, and you're pressing up against the bowl, and it automatically comes back. So you're not exerting a lot of energy. The same theory, pretty much, like I said. Whoops. When you are whisking eggs to make an omelet, but see how it's becoming opaque? But you want to be careful too, because you do not want to scramble the eggs, right? We're not trying to have an omelet here. We're trying to make hollandaise. You see how that's starting to come together? Right now it's starting to get thick. So now we're going to pull it off, right? Okay, so here is a chef tip. So we're going to lay that down just like that, right? And then see that the bowl fits right in. And if you're by yourself, you can just add the clarified butter, see, without the bowl spinning. And if you've ever made hollandaise and you're by yourself and you're in a hurry, the bowl spins, things get out of control. Somebody showed me this a long time ago. I thought it was really neat, perfect for the home cook as well. You just wrap a sauteed pan in a wet rag. There you go. And along with the pot of water that I had for the double boiler to actually make the hollandaise, I have been clarifying butter. So what I did was I just took a pound of butter, put it in here, we melted it, and all throughout the process of doing this, you're skimming the scum, we call it. The French call it dépouillage. And then you're just getting out the milk solids to make clarified butter, which is already done right back there. So you just want to get rid of that. So, not to backtrack, but before you even start separating the eggs and making hollandaise, you want to have a double boiler on, and you want to be working your clarified butter. I obviously had it all done beforehand, and this is the purpose of this technique right here, where you have your rag and saute pan. So this is a, what is this? This is a 4-ounce ladle, right? So I said about 4 ounces of clarified butter per egg yolk. So you have 6 eggs times 4, that would be 24 ounces. So you would want to do 6 of these ladles. And you're going to slowly drizzle in the butter, right? Because you are forming what's called an emulsification. If you go too fast, the hollandaise will separate, and then you will be up, you know what's creek, for lack of a better term. So you just want to go low and slow at first, and once you form the basic emulsion, you can start to incorporate the butter faster. And if it gets too thick, you just add a little bit of warm water, which we will be doing momentarily. And then the butter that I had on the stove clarifying, the temperature is very important. So not too warm, not too cold, obviously. I know that sounds vague, but it's the truth. You probably want it 110 degrees-ish. So now we did 1 ladle slowly, so now we can go faster, right? And of course, it's going to take you guys a while to get this technique down. So again, that's a tad thick in my opinion. Some of the warm water. You don't want it to be cold. A little bit of, see that? Because the more butter you add to the egg yolks, just the thicker it's going to be. Thank you. So now we're on ladle 3. And again, you can go faster once you have the basic emulsification down. So now we just did 5, right? Did 1.5 real slow, and then we did 3.5. So now we're on 6. So now we're at 24 ounces of butter. We did 4 ounces of butter per egg yolk. So now we just want to try it, right? So to me, a little bit of salt. Remember, you can add, but you can't take out, so be careful. A little bit more hot sauce. 1 more spritz of a Chardonnay. And for good measure, I'm just going to add 1/2, so essentially 2 ounces of butter to finish off the Hollandaise, make it rich. I'm going to add 1 more spot of water, taste it, and then you would reserve it. We call it reserving for service. So what you want to do, this also acts as a perfect vessel to store your Hollandaise in a warm place like over here. So you would just want to put it, be careful of the pilot light. I turned the pilot light out to this burner, but right here, the surrounding heat, you could do the same thing in your own kitchen. Grab a ladle or a spoon. In the next video that we do, we will be doing a eggs Benedict. So I really hope you enjoyed this video on how to make Hollandaise. Like I said, we just adjusted the seasoning and it was perfect. It's a perfect consistency, and you will see it when we make the eggs Benedict. Next time I'm going to do a little play on an eggs Benedict with some fennel, maybe do it like Creole style, but I will think about that. We will get back to you. Have a great afternoon. Be safe, be well, and I hope to see everybody soon.